Well, hello everybody, this is Texas Rimfire Nut here again with you to do a review and range report on the Zastava Z5 22 long rifle. Now the Zastava has actually been around for several years now, but it's probably been pretty much known by other names that you might have heard before. The most notable one of those is the Remington Model 5. It's also been known as the Zastava 99, the CZ 99, the Charles Daly Superior 2, the USSG Z5, which is the one that you're looking at now, but it's now imported by a company called K-Var out of Las Vegas, and they call that model the MP22, and it comes in different grades of walnut stocks, which we'll get more into here in just a few minutes. Now when I bought this one, it cost around $250, but now you're looking at about $299 through this new importer for the basic walnut, all the way up to about $349 for the premium walnut stock. They do come in 3 flavors of walnut stocks now, so you can kind of pick your own and see which one looks the best to you and order appropriately by the different stock qualities. I think that's kind of neat. Now Zastava has been around for a long time. They've been around since 1853 when they came out with their first cannon. That's right, they started off with the big guns and moved backwards to the smaller guns, I guess. They are a Serbian manufacturer and the leading producer of firearms in Serbia, including the defense industry. As with any gun, there are good things and bad things about the rifle. Before we start that list, I just want to let you know these are available also in 22 Magnum and 17 HMR. Well, let's just go ahead and get started with the good and the bad. Alright, first off is craftsmanship. To me, the craftsmanship of this gun is just outstanding. I think, in my opinion, it's the best metal work, best bluing job that I have ever seen on a gun. To me, just absolutely fine quality work and craftsmanship of the metal. Okay, now I do like the stock. The stock's alright to me, but I have seen others that I do like better. So I don't know as far as the grade, because they didn't have grades when I bought this one of walnut stocks to pick. I just got the one that was available at the local gun shop, but it seems to be a fairly nice stock. But in my opinion, there are others that I did think were prettier. So now the sights on these guns, to me, are pretty good. They're ample. Let's get underneath here and see if we can see underneath that scope there. That's a flip up sight there for the rear sight. And then also on the front, we have these hooded sights that to me are pretty good. I like the sights alright, but they're not my preference. I have a preference for the sights that are on the open model, like CZ 452s. I just like those better, and I think they're a better sight, although these will be quite adequate. Now, this is an outstanding accurate rifle. I meant just incredibly accurate. I don't know if this gun is on par for other Zastava Z5s, or if this gun just, I got lucky and it's exceptional. But it is a great shooter, and you'll see more about that here in a few minutes here in the range report. The worst part about this gun to me is the well-known magazine feed issue. At best, it's on the rough side. With the magazine that came with this gun, it was a real pain to load the first of the 5 bullets out of the magazine. I finally ordered a couple new ones, and they work a lot better. Nope, they're still nowhere near close to the smoothness and ease of use in my CZs, but they're much better, and they are quite bearable now. I'll just be honest with you again. You know, I like to do that in my videos. When I first got this gun, it was so hard to get that first bullet to go into the chamber out of that magazine, and it was just a fight. It was almost, I'd almost put it on par with dealing with sticky bolts on a Mosin Nagant. And I probably would not have kept this gun. I probably would have flipped it because of that if it wasn't so dadgum accurate. And that's why I stayed with it, and that's why I went ahead and ordered a couple more magazines. Glad I did, because as I said, the magazines are a lot more bearable and quite a bit better. So it makes it quite a bearable gun. Now, also, I wasn't impressed with the trigger on this gun out of the box. Now, it does have a adjustable trigger on it. It's a couple different adjustments that you got to work with, and it can be a little bit of a pain to figure out, but well worth the time and effort, because you can fix up a pretty sweet trigger on this gun. So it's pretty nice once you learn, and there's some articles out there on Rimfire Central that will show you how to deal with the trigger adjustments on this gun. But you can adjust, you know, over travel. You can work out all the creep on it. You can get it down. This one's probably about 1.5 pounds or so that I've got it set to, and I absolutely love the trigger on the gun now. The trigger on the gun now is much better to me than one of my CZs that I put like the Brooks or Yo Dave trigger kit in. So to me, still a pretty good trigger once you get it all figured out. The gun also is easy to maintain. The only thing extra that I would note would be when you're cleaning your gun, give the front sight a little extra added attention. That hood on there, I found, can rust up on you pretty easy. I don't know if you can see it on this one here or not through the camera, but I did get a little portion there where I started to get some rust. And I keep my guns pretty well maintained. I just try and keep extra oil on that now to make sure I don't get any more rusting on there, because for some reason that does seem to be a weak point in the gun as far as keeping it clean and keeping rust off of the gun. Now the rest of the gun, absolutely no problems at all. I haven't had it tried to rust on me. So the rest of the gun is just pretty much a dream. Okay. Well, let's get on and get started in the range report. Okay, and when I shot these test targets that I have, where I was trying out all the different ammo, I had really good range conditions going on. No wind, wasn't overly hot. It was just a good day for getting out and shooting on the bench. However, I was not on par. At the time, I was running close to 101 fever, had a pretty bad sore throat, and had a really bad ear infection going on. And by the time I finished up shooting all these different rounds, I was feeling pretty daggum shaky. So there are a number of groups that I did get that I felt like I probably should come back and do a bunch of retesting on some of the ammunition, because a lot of them were really close to having some good groups, although there'd be a flyer out there. Some of the ammunition is known for having flyers, some of the ammunition is not known for having flyers. So I do think it very well could have been me on some of these groups of 5 that caused me to get a worse group. So, but anyway, at some point I'll get back and do some further testing on that, but it is what it is for right now. And you'll still see by the targets and range report that this is still a very impressive gun as to how well it shoots. I think you're going to be quite pleased. Okay, for testing purposes, we shot a good number of CCIs. We shot Mini Mags, Subsonic, small game bullets, velocitors, standard velocity. Shot a few different Winchesters in there. For whatever reason, I don't know why I did it, but I still shot some Remingtons. I've never really had good luck with Remington bullets out of any of my guns. I think the 1 or 2 of them didn't shoot too daggum bad. We did try some bulk stuff. We tried some Federal bulks, some 711B and some HV ammo that were all Federal. And we tried some different Elys, RWSs, Lapuas, And yes, we did give the notable, well-known wolf match target that seems to shoot good in a lot of guns a go in this gun. So, can you say this is a half MOA gun? No, you can't say that, but you can say this gun can consistently shoot a 1/4 inch or better at 50 yards with multiple ammo. So let's get started looking at these targets. Okay, first thing we tried out of the bat here was the CCI standard velocity, and as you can see, it obtained a 5-shot group at 50 yards of .442. Next up was the Federal 711B, which shot .702 5-shot group. As you can see, there's a flyer in there. Won't know for sure until I do further testing if it was me just being sick that day, or if it just don't get there with that ammo. But I went ahead and got a figure on that. Without the flyer, it would have been a .409, so it would have been under a 1/2 inch. But like I said, we just still don't know if it was me that day or the gun. Next up was the Remington Subsonic, and as you can see there, it came in at 1 inch 1.015 on that one. Now that one had a flyer as well, and once again, I'll tell you over and over until I do further testing, I just don't know. I was pretty daggum sick out here shooting that day. If I take out that flyer, it's setting at just barely under a 1/2 inch, and 1/2 inch is pretty much my benchmark, guys. I'm always looking for at least a 1/2 inch at 50 yards with any gun. Okay, next up here is the Ely Sport. It might have had a flyer in there, but I generally do get some flyers with the Ely Sport. Came in at .940. Next up, we have the Blazers. The Blazers came in at 1.158. Winchester T22. Supposed to be some pretty good stuff. So far, I hadn't been able to get it to shoot good out of any of my rifles. Looking at over an inch on that one as well. Alright, next up on there is the Lapua Center X, and as you can see, we shot under a 1/4 inch with that bullet at .219. That is just outstanding in my opinion with a 22 rifle and ammo at 50 yards. Next up is Ely Target. Ely Target came in at .334, still pretty dadgum good. Ely Club, I thought I might have had a flyer in that one as well. That came in at .460. If you take out the flyer, and again guys, I know it could just be the way it is, or it could have me being sick that day. If we take out that flyer, we're looking at .18 inches. Alright, moving on. Next is the Aguila Super Extra with the red box, as I referred to it. Came in as a .494. To be honest with you, I think I could get those groups a little bit tighter with that stuff. Next is RWS Target Rifle. For whatever reason, felt like we had good shots on that, .98. All my other guns seem to like that target rifle even better than the rifle match, but not in this gun. Next is the RWF Rifle Match, coming in at .457. So pretty good there. Alright, let's move on to the next page where the results aren't quite as good. Alright, up next we have the Cci Mini Mags. I thought I had a flyer in there, but who knows once again. Without the flyer, with the flyer, we're looking at .676. So it's not up to par. Without the flyer, it's a .47, so need more testing on that one. It could come on in there. The next one we have up is the Cci Subsonic. It shot pretty dadgum good at .398. Pretty pleased with that. Whoops, there goes the wind. Next up was the Cci Small Game Bullet. Came in at .881. I'm a little disappointed in that because I really like shooting that small game bullet when I'm out hunting. Up next is the Remington Thunderbolt. Came in at .605. The Winchester X22 Long Rifle Hollow Point came in at .977. The CCI velocitors came in at 0.971. Up next after that is the Remington Target, which has never gotten good to shoot out of anything, at 1.017. And then we have the Federal Champion 40 grain round nose coming in at 0.629. Now the next one, I thought I had a flyer in here because generally, for whatever reason, this Federal 525 value pack, which I think is a 36 grain hollow point, almost always shoots really good in here. But today we came in with a 0.747. Without the flyer, it would have got under a half an inch at 0.428. Then we have Remington Target Ely, came in at 0.606. I think I had a flyer in there as well, but I'm not disputing these because you just never know till I get back out here on my game and do more thorough testing. But without the flyer, it would have came in at 0.41. Then there's the Federal HV Match, came in at 0.897. And also, last but not least here, is the Winchester 333 that came in at 0.881. Now another ammo I would like to talk about that I don't have here because I did its own thorough testing on it just to see what kind of groups I was getting, is the Wolf Match Target. The Wolf Match Target is producing phenomenal results out of the gun for me, very consistently shooting under a 1/4 inch at 50 yards. I did some very extensive testing on it just to find out how great it was shooting for me, and I was able to group those into what I considered poor shots, and what I considered average shots, and what I considered exceptional shots. On my poor grouping averages at 50 yards with the Wolf Match Target came in at 0.407 at 50 yards. That's still under a half an inch, and those are ones that I felt like were really pretty poor groupings. We didn't have ideal range conditions, wasn't shooting good, wasn't doing my part, whatever. The average that I feel like on this gun, from my statistics that I've been running, I think an average group with the Wolf Match Target, which means is what I get most of the time out here shooting, if I average them all up, is a 0.246. So just under a 1/4 inch at 50 yards, which to me again is phenomenal. And then I put some rounds into what I consider the exceptional, and those averaged out to a 0.159. So just phenomenal shooting gun. So what does all this mean? It means this gun can shoot 1/4 inch or less at 50 yards pretty daggum consistently, and that's an awesome shooting gun, friends. So to recap the testing, Wolf M Match Target and Lapua Center X shoot 1/4 inch 5-shot groups at 50 pretty daggum consistently. CCI Standard Velocity, CCI Subsonic, Ely Target, Ely Club, Aguila, RWS Rifle Match all shoot under a half inch in this gun consistently. That's 2 sub 1/4 inch and 6 sub half inch at 50 yards. Friends, to me, my guns, you know, just being basic sporters that I have, that is just phenomenal. Now, I'm not claiming, as I have not accomplished this yet, but I am certain that if I were to come back out here and do some further testing on more of these rounds, the ones that I gave you, the ones without the flyers, that I would end up having at least 4 more ammunitions that are shooting sub half inch, and I think I'd have another one, a third one, that would be shooting 1/4 inch groups or better consistently. So as you go to you can, if you want to, go out there to Rimfire Centrals, where I have all that posted out there on the results with the Match Target, if you want to take a look at all those pictures and see what they're doing. So anyway, guys, thanks for watching, and we'll see you again in the next review and range report that we do on the next gun. Hope you enjoyed.